Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, we're learning new details about what went wrong on a Southwest plane that left a woman dead as airlines speed up inspections now of that type of engine in their fleets. ABC's Serena Marshall has details from Washington and the hero pilot who's being praised for her quick thinking.
A federal inspection ordered on jet engines after investigators say a broken fan blade caused the left engine to explode on this Southwest flight.
They said there was a hole and someone went out.
I'm sorry, you said there was a hole and somebody went out?
Debris from the engine breaking a window that partially sucked out passenger Jennifer Reardon, a mother of two who later died from her injuries. A source tells ABC the accident is similar to this Southwest 2016 incident where the fuselage was damaged but not pierced. Possibly hundreds of engines will be impacted by the FAA directive.
So you have to get in with an ultrasound. Those cracks are causing these blades to break off and cause these mishaps.
And the heroes of that harrowing flight, the pilot Tammy Jo Schultz, trained for high-pressure situations. The former Navy lieutenant commander, one of the first women to fly Navy fighter jets.
There's nothing else I can say, but that pilot was nerves of steel. She's an awesome lady, and we hope one day to meet her.
Captain Schultz and her co-pilots on Flight 1380 releasing a statement on behalf of the 5-person crew, saying we all feel we were simply doing our jobs. Our hearts are heavy. And the ordinary men and women who rushed to help their fellow passengers. Texas rancher Ted McGinty was sitting across from Reardon as her body began to fly out the window. He rushed to hold her down while Andrew Needham, a fireman, ran over to administer CPR.
God put people on that plane for a reason.
The Reardon family also releasing a statement saying hearing all the meaningful ways she impacted people really touched their hearts. They're asking for anyone who would like to honor her legacy to donate to causes close to her at CaringSent.com. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Well, first a Southwest engine, now a Delta jet engine catches fire on a runway. Passengers on board just feet away from those flames. More than 200 passengers were on the Delta flight headed to London. Delta says there was an issue with the plane's number 2 engine. Passengers stayed on board as firefighters rushed to hose down the smoky aircraft. Delta crews met the passengers at the gate with food and water, and thankfully no one was hurt. Happening today, Houston's mayor is inviting the entire city and the rest of the world to celebrate Barbara Bush's life and legacy. Today's event in front of City Hall will include prayers from religious leaders and live performances. Some of the brightest young voices in Houston will serenade the former First Lady.
We love Barbara Bush, and we've been with President and Mrs. Bush 32 times over 29 years. And
after today's celebration, supporters of Mrs. Bush plan to place a statue honoring her at the plaza to honor her work as a champion of literacy. The lights are back on for most of Puerto Rico today. Puerto Rico's power company says it's restored electricity to more than 80% of customers now affected by an island-wide blackout. An excavator hit a transmission line, cutting power to most of the island. More than 3 million people live on the U.S. territory, and about 44,000 of them are still without normal electric service nearly 7 months after Hurricane Maria. Yesterday's island-wide outage snarled traffic, forced businesses and schools to close, and sparked long lines at gas stations. Back in the States, federal assistance to help people recover from Hurricane Irma has now reached $1 billion. The money approved through FEMA's Individuals and Households program includes nearly $700 million in housing assistance, more than $500 million to help pay rent for those whose homes were not livable after the storm, and another $200 million nearly for home repairs. FEMA has yet to move forward with approved spending to specifically help in Puerto Rico. Let's get a check on our weather right now here on the Suncoast with meteorologist Josh Stone, who's in for John today. And hey, we've had a string of days this week that have been almost ideal.
I know, on a stretch of wonderful weather here. Not so much up to the north, but here along the Suncoast, beautiful weather. This will change, though, if you don't like rain, and that could be as soon as this weekend. But right now, let's enjoy the sunshine. It is 76 degrees. And our dew point is at 66 right now, westerly wind at 9 miles per hour. Satellite and radar image shows nothing on it, but that will change over the weekend. I'll show you that when I come back. But as far as the rest of your afternoon goes, upper 70s, lower 80s. That's about average for this time of the year, looking pretty good. But we'll break down the weekend forecast when I return, Scott, and looks to be a little soggy, especially the second half of the weekend. So if you have those outdoor activities, especially in the later afternoon hours, maybe some cookouts, you may want to potentially have a plan B for that. Back to you.
All right, Charles, thank you. Right now, new measures are being taken in the search for a woman wanted for murder in 2 states with a Suncoast connection. 56-year-old Lois Rice is said to be driving a white Acura with a Florida tag. The car belonged to a Bradenton resident, Pamela Hutchinson, who Rice is accused of murdering. To help in the hunt, billboards with Rice's picture will now be placed in states where she's believed to have been, all the way from California to Florida. Rice is accused of murdering her husband in Minnesota before she allegedly killed Hutchinson, who police say she met at a Fort Myers Beach restaurant. If you see Rice or the white Acura, call police immediately. New at noon, Lombo Key police need your help in identifying this person who may have been involved in an armed robbery and attempted carjacking. Manatee County Crime Stoppers is now offering up to a $3,000 reward if an arrest is made. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. Sarasota police looking for help in identifying another armed robbery suspect. Take a look. This man entered a Subway restaurant on North Washington Boulevard last Friday when he showed the employee a gun and demanded they open the register. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the suspect got away with some cash. Police are now hoping these surveillance photos will help bring him to justice. If you know who this person is, call Crime Stoppers in Sarasota County. Northport police are looking for this man. He's accused of damaging several machines at the Village Laundromat in Northport last month, trying to steal change. If you recognize the man, call Northport Police. After several complaints about a police shooting range being just too close to a Suncoast park, Venice's police chief is trying to assure the public that their kids are safe. The range is located behind the police station at the Wellfield Sports Complex, where officers have been seen firing in the direction of the park's soccer field, drawing concern from parents. Police Chief Tom Mattmuller says the department takes several measures to make that shooting safe. Officers use the range only during school hours when kids are not at the park, and there are overhead safety fixtures in place to prevent any bullets from escaping the range. The chief says there's also an instructor on hand for every round of shooting. The Florida Highway Patrol is continuing its investigation into a fatal crash that killed a motorcycle rider Tuesday night in Sarasota, once again raising the issue of motorcycle safety. The high number of crashes involving motorcycles, some of them fatal, has led to the creation of a group called 941 Riders, where the primary focus is to bring awareness to drivers and motorcyclists about safety on the roads. Troopers say it's very important for drivers and motorcycle riders to always stay aware.
Unfortunately, what is happening is drivers simply are not seeing the motorcyclist. A violation of right-of-way is when someone pulls out directly in front of someone. This is what is killing our motorcyclists. We have to have that good situational awareness.
Sometimes it is our fault. Sometimes we are in the wrong. We have to take responsibilities for our actions. Sometimes it's the car's fault. You know, at the same time, at the end of the day, we're all trying to go home to our family.
Here are some tips to stay safe. Although it's not against the law for a motorcyclist to ride without wearing a helmet, here in Florida it's strongly encouraged. The man who died Tuesday was not wearing one. Be sure to give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination, and drivers are urged to never text and drive. Happening today, looking for a new job? Well, get your resumes ready because Manatee County government is hosting a massive hiring expo. Hiring managers will be on hand at the Bradenton Area Convention Center, hiring for multiple departments. That event runs from 2 to 7 and is open to the public, of course. Organizers say to make sure you bring multiple copies of your resume, any licenses or certificates you may hold, and be prepared for on-site interviews, so don't forget to dress to impress. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the CDC is warning against eating any pre-chopped lettuce or salads from supermarkets. And what happened when a man tried to pose as a soldier to steal a diamond ring from a store. Story coming up.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org.
A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the spring sales event. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me.
Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it today at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
All right, so good to see you and happy Thursday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone. Looking at the forecast for today, we're stepping out to beautiful temperatures. 77 in Sarasota, you can't beat that. 76 down here in Venice. A little warmer here out in Sebring and Lake Placid at 88 or 80 degrees, 79 over here in Sebring. But we do have a westerly wind, and anytime we have a westerly wind off the Gulf of Mexico, that's a cooler wind, unlike a south or southeast wind, which helps to warm our temperatures up. But winds are fairly light for the most part, about maybe 5, 6, 7 miles per hour at this time. Nothing doing here on the radar. It is all quiet, as you can see. Nothing to show you here, but this picture, I guarantee it, will look a little bit different come Sunday, and we'll show you that in just a second. Well, they just can't seem to get a break up here for our friends up to the north with snow, lake effect snow here across Lake Erie and Huron, and also up here in the northeast dealing with that. But for us along the Sun Coast, not a problem whatsoever. Upper 70s, low 80s, and we're loving life down here. Now, the tail end of that system bringing the snow up in the northeast will actually make its way into the Sun Coast by tomorrow, but it's a very weak front, so we're just talking about maybe a few clouds streaming on by tomorrow. And then the more potent system will be coming our way here. You can see it on the Futurecast coming out of Texas, and this is the one that looks to bring us widespread showers and even some thunderstorms. I don't think anything severe, but still we'll get a good dousing of storms or at least shower activity by Sunday night, lingering into Monday. So if you have those cookout plans set for Sunday evening, you may just want to consider having a plan B. I know there's a lot of outdoor activities this weekend, but just keep an eye on the weather and stay tuned to ABC 7 for the latest forecast. For the boaters today, expect a westerly wind at 10 knots, seas 1 to 2 feet, with a light chop in the bays and inland waterways. The temperature at the beach today, 79 degrees, but put your sunscreen on because it's as high as it gets at 11 for this afternoon. Day planner, well, we showed you mostly sunny skies. That's the story. Our highs will top out in the low 80s. Our average for a high at this time of the year is 81. So looking wonderful. Now let's talk about this 7-day outlook because this change comes over the weekend, and here it is. The front comes in. I said a first front comes in on Friday, could bring us a few more clouds for tomorrow, and then the other front comes in over the weekend, mostly on Sunday, though, is when we'll have the overcast skies and the widespread showers and thunderstorms. I'm thinking the second half of the day, probably by dinner time, and then lingering into the evening hours of Sunday into Monday. And then we'll have high pressure settling in behind that front to bring us more sunshine by mid to late next week. I know Scott Dennis likes to listen to Air Supply, so this may be a good weekend to dust off those old records and listen to what? You like Air Supply or is it the Carpenters? I can't, maybe it's Barry Manilow. Anyway, back to you.
Wow, where did that come from, Josh? I don't know. Maybe back in high school. But in HealthSmart today, nearly 40% of our veterans have suffered a concussion at some point in their lives, and that might increase their risk of a rare condition. ABC's Janae Norman has more.
New research done by the VA found that veterans with a prior concussion were 71% more likely than other veterans their age to develop Parkinson's disease. Even mild concussions were associated with increased risk of Parkinson's. Researchers think that this is explained by the release of a protein, alpha-synuclein, which accumulates in the brain cells of people with Parkinson's disease. They found that this protein is released by injured brain cells into the fluid surrounding the brain. The protein could then be taken up in abnormal amounts by other cells. Parkinson's is still a very rare disease, and it's certainly not the most common complication of concussion. But what can you do to decrease your risk? Make sure you and your loved ones wear a proper helmet during all high-risk sports activities. Buckle your seatbelt when driving. Elderly people at risk of falls should have mobility aids like a walker. And if you do have a concussion, follow the doctor's orders and rest, rest, rest. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warning salad lovers to stay away from all pre-chopped romaine lettuce. The CDC says an E. coli outbreak linked to chopped romaine has affected more than 50 people in the last month. Illnesses were reported in 16 states, most of them from Idaho, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Symptoms of E. coli include severe stomach cramps, vomiting, and in some cases it can be life-threatening. CDC says if you have store-bought chopped romaine lettuce, including salads and salad mixes, don't eat it, just throw it out. Being a night owl might not be the best choice for your long-term health. A new study analyzed data from more than 400,000 participants with the main goal of seeing if evening types had a higher mortality risk than morning types. It found that compared to morning people, night owls have a 10% increased risk of mortality and are at a higher risk of having a heart attack or heart disease. One theory is staying up late conflicts with the working hours of the world, leading to a lack of sleep or irregular schedule. All right, let's head over to the kitchen now and check in with Chef Jamil Pineda, who joins us from Michael's on East today. Jamil, great to have you back in the kitchen. What are you fixing for us today?
Today we're going to be doing a beautiful Southwest mahi-mahi style. We got some beautiful green tomato salsa verde, some jicama masala, so stay tuned.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG, and Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Caught on camera, a thief takes off with a trailer full of awards and more. And among the things stolen, $800,000 worth of Disneyland tickets. Brandy Cummings has the story.
It happened in a matter of minutes. Surveillance video shows a truck drive into the Future Farmers of America parking lot just after 3 this morning.
Obviously knew what they were doing because it's as far away from the cameras as humanly possible.
Executive Director Matt Patton says the thief broke through a gate, then spent about 5 minutes breaking the lock on this white cargo trailer, all before driving away into the darkness.
When they pulled in, the headlights were on, which reflected off the camera, making it impossible to see the license plate. And when they left, they were hooked to the trailer, so you couldn't see the license plate that way either.
Inside, more than $832,000 worth of materials, audiovisual equipment, and awards, including 8,000 Disneyland tickets for the 90th Annual FFA Leadership Conference in Anaheim that begins on Sunday.
I don't think the individual had any idea what was in the vehicle.
Patton says the tickets have been canceled and new ones will be printed.
Financially, we're not going to be out any money for that. It's just more of an inconvenience.
Police in Pasadena, Texas need help identifying the people who have tried to steal an ATM from a courthouse now 3 times. The ATM theft attempts have only been going on since Sunday, but authorities are concerned more county courthouses are becoming targets. Other crimes around government buildings in the area have been on the rise, and police hope this isn't the start of a bigger problem needing to be addressed. Police in Washington state arrest a man they say stole a diamond worth $100,000 while disguised as a service member to gain the trust of store employees. Police say R.K. Kennedy posed as a soldier and went into the store asking to buy an engagement ring. When Kennedy asked an employee to check a price, he took off with that diamond in hand. Fortunately, the glass in the jewelry store had just been cleaned and fingerprints were easy to lift. Investigators reviewed the surveillance video and saw Kennedy was an imposter. Let's get back to the kitchen now. Josh is with our good friend Chef Jamil from Michael's on East in Sarasota. Josh.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Jamil, thanks so much for joining us.
Welcome
back.
Being here. Thank you.
So what are we making today?
Today we're going to do a nice Southwest mahi-mahi style. So we got beautiful here. We get some nice coriander. We take the coriander, we roast in. So it's that,
and what is coriander?
Coriander is the seed of cilantro. A lot of people, even in Europe, like I was saying, it's a when you see a recipe and see coriander, fresh coriander, it's actually cilantro.
Okay.
So it has that a nice flavor to it. And then right here we add some garlic, some sugar.
Smells wonderful.
It is very good. And what the sugar does too is caramelizes the fish when you actually do it. So we got some beautiful mahi-mahi here.
Okay.
And we're going to crust that. This is our typical Southwest spices too that we have in here. You have some cumin, you have some salt and pepper. Here we made a nice, kind of like a chunky salsa verde, they call it.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically tomatillos. We take tomatillos, onion, jalapenos, roast them with olive oil, and then we bring it out, put them in a food processor. And then we kind of like don't do it too thin so we can get a nice little chunk right here. And just do it, and we got some beautiful jicama slaw. Meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead and do this right here very quick.
Now, what's in the slaw?
The slaw we're gonna have, it has peppers, it has onions, it has jicama, and then we're gonna add this special sauce that we created. This is actually a beautiful vinegar, sugar, and water. So it can give you a nice, what I'm doing here, I'm just gonna add the mahi. I'm gonna put a nice enough of oil here. We want this to be...
It looks like a fairly quick process.
It is, as a matter of fact. A lot of people think that when you go to the kitchen, this is a quick process. Everything takes a little time.
Sure.
When you're home and you have to chop everything and stuff like that, especially when you have to get those nice jicama and peppers and onions and cilantro chopped up very cool. So what I'm going to do here, now that we have that cooking, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of the salad here. And so you can mix that a little bit.
Say to mix everything together. Yeah. Should I take the spoon to do this?
Take the spoon and do that? Yeah, of course I trust you.
Okay.
Why would I trust you? So right here, it's just basically, if you can see, it's nice and clear. It's just rice vinegar, a little bit of sugar and water. So you can, make it a nice little flavor. So that way you can taste the naturals of all the vegetables. Right here, we got some nice, beautiful corn and rice that we made.
Looks great.
We just made, and I'm going to show you this right here. We take a little
yeah, I was asking about this earlier. The rice, the display here is so wonderful, but this is the trick.
Right, so the trick is, it has a little oil on the inside already, so it doesn't stick to the pan, and then we're going to press it here.
Ah, okay.
You see that right here?
You kind of compress it down.
Compress it down. And you can make a nice little, you can make it rustic and just put it on a plate like that.
Okay.
And just do that. Then we're going to take the plate here while that cooks right here. And then we just kind of hit it right here, right on the top, so you can hit the other stuff.
And it just comes out like that.
It just comes out like that, and it still have nothing inside. You still got the little oil.
Okay.
So
we have about 40 seconds. So
no problem. So I got almost everything ready to go here. I got some of the salsa.
So you put that on the side.
Right on the side, right there. While that cooks right here, it gets nice crusty. We got some already in the oven.
Okay.
Right here. Don't try very hard. And then we have some tomatoes. And we did the tomato the same way.
Look at that. Wow.
The roasted tomato.
Smell this aroma.
Right. You can say that. That's beautiful.
Okay.
And what we're going to do here, we're just going to put some tomatoes here.
Okay, perfect.
Like that.
Well, folks, if you want this recipe or others, go to our website at mysuncoast.com and click on the dining tab. You can get this recipe. Like I said, others as well. But Jamal, this looks terrific.
Oh, it's the flavors on this is so fresh.
Okay.
You got some fresh cilantro right there, and there's the dish right there.
Well, if it ends with ish, it must be delish, right?
That
Jamal, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
And stay with us, everyone. We will be right back.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
The Spring Fever sales event is going on now at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota. Drive a new 2018 Corolla for only $79 per month, the all-new 2018 Camry for only $119 per month, and 2018 RAV4 for just $129 per month at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota.
When money's tight and emergencies arise, CashNetUSA.com is available 24/7 to deliver quick loans for approved customers when they need it the most.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it today at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7.
First off, breaking news, an officer-involved shooting.
2 officers have been injured. This is where police just took down the crime scene tape.
Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7.
Coming up, what does President Trump hope to gain by meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in the coming weeks? Plus, Cuba officially has its first leader not named Castro in more than 6 decades. And what the men arrested in a Philadelphia Starbucks are now saying.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story today at 12:30. The White House confirms a secret high-level meeting between North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and CIA Director Mike Pompeo ahead of President Trump sitting down with Kim in the coming weeks. ABC's John Carl has more on what the president says he's hoping to accomplish.
The president is sounding more and more eager to have his summit meeting with Kim Jong-un and optimistic about ridding North Korea of nuclear weapons.
There is a bright path available to North Korea when it achieves denuclearization in a complete and verifiable and irreversible way. It will be a great day for them. It will be a great day for the world.
But standing next to Japan's prime minister, the president vowed to drive a hard bargain. And the first rule of any good negotiation, you've got to be willing to walk away.
We've never been in a position like this with that regime. I hope to have a very successful meeting. If we don't think it's going to be successful, Mark, we won't have it. If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave.
And he said there will be no backing down from the ultimate goal.
We will not repeat the mistakes of previous administrations. Our campaign of maximum pressure will continue until North Korea denuclearizes.
In a sign of the president's eagerness to have the meeting, he is not insisting on preconditions. CIA Director Mike Pompeo made his secret Easter weekend meeting to North Korea to help set up the summit, but he returned without winning the release of 3 Americans now being detained by North Korea.
We fought very hard to get Otto Warmbier back. We are likewise fighting very diligently to get the 3 American citizens back. I think there's a good chance of doing it.
Looking ahead, a federal judge in California will hold a hearing tomorrow to decide whether Stormy Daniels' lawsuit against Michael Cohen and President Trump will be delayed. The adult film actress is asking that a non-disclosure agreement regarding an alleged sexual encounter between her and President Trump be dissolved. Daniels argues that the agreement is void because the president never signed it, and it was in fact Cohen who signed the document on his client's behalf. Attorneys for the president and Cohen are expected to ask the judge to delay the suit due to the ongoing federal criminal investigation of Cohen in New York. History in Havana. Cuba officially has a new president. 57-year-old Miguel Diaz-Canel succeeds Raul Castro in a transition aimed at ensuring the country's single-party system outlasts the revolutionaries who created it. This is the first time in nearly 60 years the country is not led by someone from the Castro family, although Raul Castro will remain the head of Cuba's Communist Party for now. Happening in Florida, the accused gunman in the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting is listed on court records as not indigent. That means Nicholas Cruz has sufficient income to afford a lawyer. A Broward County court clerk says he has more than $2,200 in stocks and bonds and $25,000 in other income. The court has been trying to determine if taxpayers will pick up the tab for Cruz's defense. The judge is expected to make a final determination on Cruz's indigent status before the end of next week. A bizarre police chase leading to a swamp is all caught on camera by Pasco County Sheriff's Office. The suspect in the video, Paul Smith, allegedly hit a Hernando County deputy and then drove off partially handcuffed. He made it all the way to Pasco County, where deputies chased him into a swampy area near where he crashed his car. Smith ran and hid until deputies and their canine found him. He's facing now charges of aggravated assault, violation of probation, with more charges to come. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is looking for answers after a turtle was found painted and injured. The gopher tortoise was found in Lake County, completely covered in red spray paint with concrete on its limbs. He was found in the middle of the road, and they say 2 Good Samaritans picked him up and took him to a rehab center. Gopher tortoises are threatened and are a protected species in Florida. A reward is now being offered for anyone who has information on the suspect. A conservationist in South Florida says she has video of what could be a new species of manta ray. The drone video was recorded near Palm Beach earlier this week. Jessica Pate with the Florida Manta Project says this looks like a third species of manta ray her organization has been studying over the years. Doesn't even have a name yet, but there's one thing conservationists know for sure: they must be protected.
This is likely a very important habitat to protect. We have evidence that this is a nursery ground, which is where these young of the year or juvenile manta rays are going to develop safely into adulthood.
The Florida Manta Project plans to continue studying the possible new species over the summer months. A new satellite is finally heading into orbit to look for other worlds. The Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS, launched yesterday from Cape Canaveral. Thanks to the help of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, TESS will scan about 85% of the sky over the next 2 years, but since it doesn't require fuel to stay on course, the mission could go on for years to come. Can't wait to find out what it finds. But here on the Suncoast, we are finding delightful weather. Meteorologist Josh Stone in for John today, and another gorgeous day to get out there and enjoy.
Exactly. You couldn't ask for better weather. Upper 70s, low 80s. Let's check out the map right now. 76 in Sarasota right now, 76 in Bradenton, and 74 in Venice. Mostly sunny, maybe a few passing clouds, and that's about it. We have a westerly wind. Still, temperatures inland could warm up into potentially the mid-80s, but still our radar will remain quiet today thanks to high pressure that's in control. As far as the rest of the afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies. Now, this graphic will change come this coming weekend, and I'll break that down for you when I return and show you the 7-day outlook. But for today and even in tomorrow, it looks like we're still going to have plenty of sunshine in our forecast. Scott?
Josh, thank you. New developments out of Philadelphia, where Starbucks remains in damage control mode after a seemingly racially charged incident there last week. Today, for the first time, the two men at the heart of it all are speaking out. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
Their arrest in a Starbucks has led to protests across the country and is now fueling a nationwide conversation about race.
I'm thinking about my family that I have, my community. So in that moment, I'm trying to process what's going on.
Speaking out for the first time since that incident 1 week ago, Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson say they came to this Starbucks in Philadelphia for a business meeting, and since they were a few minutes early, sat down at a table. An employee asked if they wanted anything, and they said no.
I have two gentlemen at my cafe that are refusing to make a purchase or leave.
That employee calling the police. The men say only 2 minutes after they sat down.
We wasn't read any rights, nothing. Just double lock, handcuffs behind our back, and escorted out and put into a squad car.
The CEO of Starbucks has apologized to both men in person and announced that the company will be shutting down all 8,000 of its U.S. locations on the afternoon of May 29th to train all 175,000 employees in racial bias education geared toward preventing discrimination.
It's my responsibility to ensure that we review everything.
Dante and Rashawn say their goal is to make sure what happened to them never happens to anyone else.
It's not just a black people thing. This is a people thing. And that's exactly what we want to see out of this, and that's true change.
The men's lawyer says at this time they're not suing Starbucks or the city, and instead they're working with Starbucks to have a meaningful conversation. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Happening today on the Suncoast, a new elementary school is coming soon to East Manatee County, and school district officials want your name suggestions. The district will host a town hall meeting to give parents and citizens an opportunity to get more information on the new school. It happens tonight at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria at Buffalo Creek Middle School. The meeting will also kick off the process of selecting a name. That new school is scheduled to open in August of 2019 on 115th Avenue East in Parrish. The John and Maple Ringling Museum of Art is opening a new exhibit focused on the life's work of Miles White. He was a costume designer who helped transform the look and feel of the circus in the early 1950s. When White was hired in 1941, the show was looking toward the future, but wasn't sure how to move it forward.
They wanted to redesign the Ringling Show and make it something where the entire production was wound together with an orchestration of color and light and movement, and that was where Miles White came in.
The exhibit is drawn from more than 500 original sketches by White in the museum's archives and will be on display through August 5th in the museum's Searing Wing. Well, what's better than finding a lucky penny? How about finding out a coin you thought was a fake is actually worth millions? That's what happened to one New England man who had this historic coin lying around. The Sarasota Coin Company confirms it's a genuine half eagle, which were made during the gold rush back in the 1800s. The owner didn't say how he got it, but the chairman of the world's largest rare coin company in Sarasota says there are only 2 others known in existence. The Lightning now just 1 win away from advancing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Nikita Kucherov, the star of last night's Game 4 win in New Jersey. Kuch scoring 2 goals and set up another. The Lightning now lead the series 3-1, and they can wrap up the best-of-7 series if they win Game 5 this Saturday afternoon, back on home ice at Amalie Arena in Tampa. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why you could be missing out on credit card perks if you carry an older card. We'll have the details coming up.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today, and named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I can't believe they charged me this much. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Go to CashNetUSA.com now. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as tomorrow.
Thanks. Who are you?
I'm CashNetUSA.com. Man.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Good afternoon. Looking at a beautiful day here in downtown Sarasota and along the Sun Coast. We have high pressure that's in control, just a few clouds passing by. But you can see downtown Sarasota looking westbound over the Sarasota Bay. Absolutely beautiful conditions on this Thursday afternoon. Hello, I'm meteorologist Josh Stone, showing you that if you walk outside, it's 76 degrees, a few passing clouds, humidity at 71%, and the wind fairly light, about 9 miles per hour coming out of the west. Nothing to show you here on the radar. It's all quiet thanks to high pressure that's in control, but this graphic changes come the second half of the upcoming weekend. We'll show you that in just a second. Still very chilly up to the north here, 45 in Chicago, 36 up here in Toronto. You can see the dip in the jet stream allowing that cooler air to spill southward. Fortunately for us, it's not going to come all the way that south, but there is a 1-2 punch coming our way. The tail end of this system that's causing some snow here in Boston. Actually, this whole system's wrapping up and pulling out in the Atlantic now, but they've been dealing with some snow and just some cold rain up here in the Northeast. But the tail end of that system is going to be making its way in to our area tomorrow. No showers, no storms, just a few clouds passing by for our Friday, and that's about it. But there's another system to our west that's going to be coming our way by Sunday. And you can see it start to take form here in eastern Texas, and as it goes through the southern southeast states here, and then should be on our doorstep by Sunday early evening into Sunday night, and into Monday. We're talking about widespread showers, maybe some thunderstorms. I don't think anything severe, but still some of these storms could produce some gusty winds, heavy rain at times, and cloud-to-ground lightning. So just look out for that if you have, say, cookout plans for Sunday evening. For your forecast, if you're taking your boat out this afternoon, westerly wind at 10 knots, seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bay. Temperature at the beach today, well, we're probably hitting the max right now in the upper 70s, and that's about it. But put your sunscreen on because it is at 11 for this afternoon. Rest of the day, mostly sunny skies thanks to the high pressure. Clear skies tonight. Our highs, well, upper 70s along the coast, inland around the lower to potentially mid 80-degree mark. And breaking down the forecast for you over the next few days as we get into the weekend. Saturday, a few afternoon showers is not out of the question. That could happen, but then that front that I showed you comes in by Sunday, stirs up the atmosphere with clouds, showers, even some thunderstorms lingering into Monday. And then behind that front, the wake of it, another area of high pressure settles in, bringing us more sunshine in the forecast by mid to late next week. Scott?
All right, Josh, thank you. In consumer news, American Express reports a big boost in profits, and Bed Bath & Beyond looks to be in tough financial shape. ABC 7's Stephanie Webb has those stories and more in today's Business Headlines.
Americans are feeling more confident and are pulling out the plastic. American Express reported a 31% increase in first quarter profits. Jeffrey Campbell, the company's finance chief, attributes that jump to increased consumer confidence and increased spending. And Bed Bath & Beyond could certainly use some of that spending. The retailer saw its credit rating cut by Standards & Poor's down to one level above junk bond status. This comes after it issued a poor outlook just last week. And people hoping to buy new homes are now racing against rising interest rates. The average weekly rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is now nearly 4.5%. That's up about 0.5% since January. Also driving up costs for home buyers, a relatively low supply of homes for sale. With today's business headlines, Stephanie Webb, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
When was the last time you took a good look at the credit cards in your wallet? Well, a new study shows your credit cards are probably older than you realize, which means you could be missing out on some major perks. Creditcards.com says more than 20 million people have not switched their primary card in 10 years, and almost 50 million cardholders have never changed their primary credit card. You may want to start thinking of switching because those old cards have fewer benefits and perks, but millennials are paying attention to all this. The study shows they are more likely to have switched their primary card within the last few years, mostly in search for a better deal. The company that invented and manufactures bump stocks will now stop selling them for good. Bump stocks are typically attached to semi-automatic rifles to speed up the fire rate, mimicking fully automatic fire. Slide Fire faced criticism after they were sued following the Las Vegas massacre, with claims that Slide Fire's production and marketing of bump stocks was negligent. Some states like Florida and New Jersey have already banned bump stocks completely. Amazon Prime now has more than 100 million subscribers. Amazon Prime was launched about 13 years ago. Its membership program includes deals on shipping and streaming content. Amazon Prime shipped more than 5 billion items last year, and CEO Jeff Bezos says the key to running a successful business is having high standards. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how long did it take for 2 robot arms to build a chair from IKEA? On their own? We'll show you right after this.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $155 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, You can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me. Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app now.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
In entertainment news, tonight is the premiere of the highly anticipated series finale of ABC's mega hit Scandal. ABC's Juju Chang caught up with the star of the series, Kerry Washington, to find out why it's so hard to say goodbye.
It's handled.
She's a television trailblazer.
I am many things, stupid is not one of them.
Fiercely independent.
If you want me, earn me!
And unapologetic.
You can't take Olivia Pope. Olivia Pope takes you.
For 7 seasons, fans of the hit ABC drama Scandal have watched Olivia Pope, a top-notch political fixer, go from plot twist
Olivia.
Dad?
to plot twist.
You think you can revenge?
When I started playing Olivia Pope, we were very similar, more similar than we are today.
Now, Kerry Washington saying goodbye to her iconic character as the series, created by powerhouse producer Shonda Rhimes, comes to a close. Her real-life love interest? Former NFL quarterback Nnamdi Asomugha, her husband, with whom she has 2 kids. But while she keeps her personal life personal, she does speak out publicly about issues like gun control and women's rights.
Being on the show and having the career that I've had has allowed me to speak at the Democratic National Convention.
None of us can be silent.
She takes the duty of citizenship just as seriously as her pioneering role as the first African-American woman in nearly 40 years to star in a network drama.
Do you feel like this ends well for Olivia? Is this a happy ending for her? I think that the way the show ends is the way it should be ending. The last episode it will make you laugh, it will make you cry, it will shock you a little bit.
Juju Chang, ABC News, New York.
And a reminder, you can catch the series finale of Scandal tonight at 10, right here on ABC 7. Minnesota prosecutors have released new details around Prince's 2016 death. A medical examiner found the musician died from an accidental fentanyl overdose, but the singer thought he was taking Vicodin. Prosecutors say they will also fine the doctor who wrote the fentanyl prescription, but will not pursue any criminal charges. Fentanyl is a powerful painkiller blamed for the nationwide opioid epidemic. Prince died at the age of 57. He was found unresponsive in his Paisley Park home and recording studio. World-famous illusionist David Copperfield was in court yesterday, forced to reveal secrets about one of his tricks. Copperfield is being sued by a man who says he slipped and suffered a brain injury while participating in one of the performer's Las Vegas shows. The questioning focused on an incident that happened in 2013 where Gavin Cox says he fell while participating in a trick called 13 Illusion. Cox says he tripped on a route his lawyers described as an obstacle course. Copperfield is due to return to the witness stand next Tuesday for more testimony. Finally, it's not magic, but researchers in Singapore developed a pair of robots that can assemble an IKEA chair on their own without an instruction manual. From planning to executing, the robots only took 20 minutes to finish building the chair, one that IKEA says a single human could finish on their own in about 10 minutes. Well, the ultimate goal here is of these robots is to help them learn at a faster rate without the help of physical programming. You know, IKEA stuff can be challenging for anyone, so good job by the robots. 20 minutes.
I agree. I think that's an amazing feat there.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice weather throughout the day today, and then rain end of the weekend. Huh?
Exactly.
All right.
Yep.
Josh, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again at 5.
Rugs as Art. You know the name. You know the building. But do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.